Hey there, all things MSP crew. Welcome back to the next episode of Can You MSP It, the game show where we talk to MSP vendors about their products that they are bringing to market through the PitchIT program. Now, some of these are returning stars from last year. Some of these are new kids on the block, but we're going to have some fun with this. It's going to be a little bit different from last year, but I think it's going to be enjoyable, and I think we're going to bring out some important information. Plus, we're going to challenge these PitchIT contestants to learn how to get their message across in some very unique and interesting and maybe some scary ways. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, joining me today is Adam Anderson from ThreatCaptain. Hey, Adam.
Hey.
And Taylor Tabusa from Palisade.
How's it going, guys?
So, Adam, I'll start with you. Just give me a quick introduction about yourself and about ThreatCaptain.
Sure. My name's Adam Anderson. I'm a Virgo. I'm getting older, so I like shorter walks on the beach, not quite longer walks on the beach. We designed ThreatCaptain to solve a problem we were having, which means, hey, selling cybersecurity can be hard. So we've created the world's first ever sales enablement tool that does financial impact analysis so you can remove the tech jargon and add financial facts.
Awesome.
Very cool, very cool, very cool.
And Taylor from Palisade.
Hey, so Taylor Tabusa at Palisade, one of the co-founders. We created a AI-powered DMARC automation and enforcement software to really make it as easy as possible for MSPs to lock down their DMARC.
All right. So we're going to jump right into it. And the first competition here on Can You MSP It is the one-line pitch. Now, I'm going to ask each one of you to give me a one-line or about 15-second long pitch without using buzzwords. That's kind of the trick here, is you're going to lose points if you use too many buzzwords. And with our random computerized calculation, Taylor, you're up first.
Cool. Should I only use like one-syllable words and grunts to convey our software?
Because at the end of the day, I'm the judge, so you have no idea what I'm going to do.
Awesome. Palisade is the easiest way for MSPs to lock down DMARC across pretty much every client domain that they have with really minimal DNS headaches and built-in recurring revenue.
All right. I think that was pretty good. I might knock off a half a point or so for the recurring revenue piece. But other than that,
I didn't say AI.
You did not say AI, and I'm not going to use DMARC as a buzzword because it's kind of hard for you to pitch without that.
Awesome.
I think that was a bit harsh. I think 1 point would have been. Listen, you're the boss, though, right? I do have a problem, though. Buzzwords are literally my love language. Like, if I'm not synergistically thinking outside of the box to leverage but all right, focus up, Adam.
Yeah, but you are the old pro at this. You got to do this last year.
Doesn't mean I'm good at it.
Navigate those waters, Captain. Navigate those waters.
There you go, baby. All right, I'm ready whenever you just say go, and I'm going to give it a shot.
All right, go.
So, ThreatCaptain helps 83% of cybersecurity salespeople with MSPs struggle with. Namely, how do I actually close the deal so that they get me the check without having to, I failed. It fell apart.
Check is the biggest buzzword there is.
Check is a big buzzword. ThreatCaptain helps MSPs sell more cybersecurity so they can do more risk assessments, not just better risk assessments.
There you go.
Maybe that one.
Makes a lot of sense.
I don't know, man. I feel like I've lost a lot of points on that one. I mean, I don't want to project and change the judge's mind. But we hit white water, and I absolutely crashed on the rocks.
I think you're still pretty close, neck and neck. Well, I think, Taylor, you had to use the recurring revenue, which I get it, right? That's important to MSPs, but it's also kind of overused in this industry.
Sure.
And yeah, Adam, we'll call it a draw for this one. Okay. So we'll just say 25 points each. How about that? We'll make it fair.
I feel like
25 points each for that first round.
Yeah, we both need to up our game. I don't want us to be like the tying for the worst. I want us to.
All right. So the next is the MSP scenario. Now, what I've done here is I've kind of created a common MSP client issue that your solution might help with. I've created a question around that. And so, Adam, this one you're going to start first. And your question is, the MSP just lost a client to a cheaper competitor who didn't push all that security stuff. How does your approach help MSPs justify the value of security?
That's absolutely the best question you could have asked me. So the way that we help MSPs justify security is that we're able to actually model what the problem might be. So security isn't about a bunch of technology and a package. What security actually is risk reduction. And the kind of risk we're talking about is financial risk reduction. So if you can't tie the technical things that you're doing to the financial risk reduction that the CFO cares about, you're a commodity. By actually being able to speak that language, you can charge higher prices, you have stickier clients, and by the way, you get more referrals.
What? Awesome. I think you've done this before, Adam.
Dollars and cents, baby. It always comes down to dollars and cents.
Cash money.
All right. And Taylor, an MSP wants to proactively sell domain protection. How do they use Palisade to turn this into a value add conversation, not a confusing one?
Easy. Everyone sends emails, right? They might not understand SPF, DMARC, DKIM, DNS, all these acronyms, but they understand I send an email, I want to get delivered. And DMARC does that. It helps improve your deliverability score. It helps protect your domain to improve your brand reputation, improve your domain reputation. It's a defensive policy, let's say, but recipients see that you put in all the work to defend your domain, protect your domain, as you say in the question, and reward you for it. So it's a really easy way to communicate the value of protecting their domain.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right. And now for round 3. Grumpy MSP objections. And I don't know. I may try and use a voice for this one. I don't know. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a tough and maybe slightly exaggerated objection from a character, me, playing the skeptical MSP.
Should we all test out a voice?
Okay, then now let's go ahead and answer the question.
So,
Taylor, and this is me being a grumpy MSP. I don't know if I can pull this off, actually. DMARC sounds great until I have to explain it to these clients. It's DNS voodoo, and I don't want to touch it.
Just like Adam said before, don't use technical terms or convert that into dollars and cents. Convert that into money that they could potentially lose or could potentially be liable for. So DMARC protects against domain spoofing, people sending emails from your domain. That's one benefit of it. There's potential liability there if people are sending emails that are unverified because you don't have protection and people get burned for it. So there's potential liability problems there. When it comes to the deliverability side, missed emails is missed money, right? If an invoice doesn't get paid, if one of your warnings pops out and doesn't get delivered to that inbox, or just a regular one-to-one business development email, that's money that is lost, and that's money that we can show you in our tool with specific numbers.
Awesome.
I like that. An email lost is money lost, or that was good.
All right, Adam.
Oh,
I'm a tech. I hate selling. I didn't sign up to be a storyteller. I just fix stuff.
Yeah, I know, baby. It's tough. I know talking to humans can be a whole thing, and I don't know, asking questions about what's actually going on. I gotta have to give you some hard love here. I know you want to go fix stuff, But the people who need you to fix things, they really need your help and you want to help them. And think of it like this. Humans are different operating systems. And for you to be able to fix the things you want, you have to use an API to talk to the CFO. That API is actually financial justification of your spend to fix stuff. Because it's not that you just want to fix stuff. You want to get paid to fix stuff. So that's the whole thing you need to begin to lock in on. Is storytelling is about using your emotional intelligence and social skills to create a human API to communicate effectively about what you're fixing, why you're fixing it, and why it's worth the money that you're charging.
Very nice. Now, I think that we need an update on the scoring as we've gone through a couple of rounds here. And I think, Adam, you have pulled slightly ahead of Taylor at 55 points to 50 points. So there's only
Mom?
Oh, no. I'm losing ground here.
Oh, you guys are breaking up. Can we just end it now?
And, you know, we'll just mention right here to the audience that, yeah, these points are completely made up.
They sound right to me, Eric. They sound really accurate. I don't know, man.
Round 4, the tech stack showdown. Now, this is where you're going to describe how your product fits within a typical MSP stack based on the question that I give you. All right, Adam, you're first up. How do I integrate ThreatCaptain with the rest of my security stack, and how do I get it in front of end users?
Beautiful. The thing you want to know about ThreatCaptain is I don't see us as a part of your stack. I see it as on top of your stack. So you have to get permission to help people, and ThreatCaptain gives you permission to help them once you start thinking and speaking in that language. So we are part of that risk assessment process, that early discovery process that uncovers how you're going to use your stack. So we help the customer allow you to pick the target, share their pain, and tell you what they need, because you're asking them financial questions that you can then turn into actual security projects, or even better, just plug your stack right in there and walk away.
Very nice. Very nice. And I think it's highly important for them to understand, you know, and that's where the education part comes in. I think it's really important. And you know, I love the last answer you gave about the API with the CFO. Totally get that.
Oh, look, I know my nerds.
All right, Taylor. I've got 365, Google Workspace, or Proofpoint, or, you know, whatever other email tools I've got. Where does Palisade fit, and what makes it different from the built-in email security?
Familiar with this question. Perfectly. So most MSPs, most companies, they have 365, they have Google Workspace, maybe there's a few others. There is built-in inbound email protection, built-in inbound spam flagging, spam filtering, all that good stuff. Whether with, you know, like Home Outlook or Business Outlook beefs it up quite a bit. ESGs or gateways like Proofpoint, same thing, primarily and almost entirely focused on inbound emails. So DMARC is the only way to make sure that your outbound emails are locked down tight and verified and authenticated. So it slides right in. We're working with integrations with some of these larger providers as well to fit next to them and be a nice little module in their larger email security space. So it's a very simple addition and a simple integration to your entire email ecosystem, and something that at least we feel like should have been done years ago. But Microsoft, Google, Apple, Yahoo only started requiring it this past year, Microsoft this year. So there is momentum moving forward, but it's a really interesting time for just email in general right now.
Awesome. All right. So a quick check of the points. I think, Taylor, we're going to give you 25 points for that one. And Adam, we're going to give you 20, which gives us an interesting scenario here. We now have a tie.
Again?
I don't know how this happened with all this scientific point and record keeping. I don't know how we could get to a tie, but we did. So what do we do in the case of a tie? We have a bonus round.
Oh.
So
I
this
thought
one,
we were going to rock, paper, scissors.
this one you have a little more latitude on. You have a little more time on. This is not limited like the one-line pitch. But I need you to explain your product to me like I'm 5. Okay?
Nice.
Everybody understand the rules?
Think so.
All right. I am going to flip a virtual coin, and Taylor, heads or tails?
Tails.
You're right. It's tails. All right. So, Taylor, you will have the chance to go first or last. Which one do you want?
Last. We'll do last.
So brave of you. I see you, baby.
Let me think about it for a second. Let me take a few moments to ponder here.
Not a problem. It's the beauty of this world. We can edit.
Okay. Do you just want me to go? I can do this. Okay,
Yes.
Here we go. Hey, Aaron. Hey, buddy. Come here, little man. Let's sit down and have a chat. Once upon a time, there was a managed service provider, and all they wanted to do was help people. But those people with the budgets didn't understand what that managed service provider was saying, and they just thought they were little nerds who were just trying to sell them gadgets. And that made the 5-year-old Aaron very sad. Do you resonate with that? I know, buddy. So what we had to do was we had to give those people, the MSPs were trying to help, we had to speak their language. And they're just dirty capitalists who love money. So we had to communicate to them with money because that's what's in their heart. You remember your favorite show was Scrooge McDuck? That's right. Scrooge never talked about technology, only about money. So we're going to help you, buddy. Come here. Sit down, bud. No, seriously, sit down here. Get back here. Oh, dang, he left the room. There you go.
All right. I think
feel like I want to go first
1,000
now.
points to Adam.
I think I want to go first now. Great work. Great work. Oh, I don't know how I follow that up, boys. When you write a letter and you send it to someone, you need to make sure that you know who it's from. That's where the address is from. Then the post office stamps it to verify it and then sends it. DMARC is exactly like that. It's basically a way for customers and recipients to know that the email is verified and has been stamped by the email post office, let's say, and is coming from you. So it's a pretty simple protocol that is not super simple to set up at scale, but that's kind of the 1 to 0 on it.
Awesome. Love the analogy, by the way. So we're going to give 999 points to Taylor.
That's fair. I think that's generous. I think that's super generous.
Meaning for this episode of Can You MSP It? Adam, you're our winner today.
I'd like to thank all the little people I stood on to get to where I am today. And I'd thank my mom, but I did it myself. Yay, go team.
Yeah, although I'm not sure stepping on 5-year-olds was the way to go.
You know what? I am coachable. So that's what we all hang out, right?
Important in our industry.
It's so much.
Yep. So, Taylor, as the runner-up, I'll let you go first. Where do people reach out to find out more about Palisade?
Easy peasy. Palisade.email is our website, or Taylor Tabusa. You can see it down there, or last name Tabusa. And there's only one of me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. And Adam, as our winner today, how do people reach out and find out more about ThreatCaptain?
Well, gosh, thanks for asking. We are available at ThreatCaptain.com. We're also launching a new podcast called The Crow's Nest in celebration of our ChannelCon suite that we got shut down at 2 a.m. Last year.
I might remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so keep a lookout of that. But honestly, go to our LinkedIn, hit us up on our website, check out our our podcast, but yeah, or smoke signals. And by the way, if you need to really get in touch with ThreatCaptain, the best thing you can do is write a note on a piece of paper in binary, put it in a bottle, throw it into the nearest water source, and then go to LinkedIn and message us.
Awesome.
Makes sense.
Well, thank you guys so much for being my first victims this year for these series of PitchIT interviews. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing how you guys progress in the PitchIT competition and seeing you at IT Nation Connect.
Woo!
Woo!